So you'll notice that I called you guys up here in a little bit different way than I usually do, right? Did you notice that? A little bit different. Okay, so the reason that I called you up here like this is because I wanted to illustrate the way that Jesus called his disciples, okay? So when he called his disciples, he just called a few at a time. And they came and they followed him and they did what he did, right? So you guys kind of did what I did by doing the songs and the motions and all that stuff. But I want to talk about this word, this idea of being a disciple, okay? How do we know that someone is a disciple of Jesus, okay? So do you guys have any ideas? Do you have any ideas? How do we know somebody's a disciple of Jesus?
They're God's people.
They're God's people, yeah, okay. They follow God, yeah. What else? How do we know somebody is a disciple of Jesus? You guys have another idea?
They pray to God.
They pray, yeah. Yeah, those are all really, really good ideas, okay? But we're gonna look at some other jobs, some other roles that I think you guys might know a little bit better than maybe being a disciple. And I want you to tell me how you know that somebody is one of these. So how do you know that somebody is a police officer? How do you know, Leighton? Because they have a badge. Okay. Any other? How else do you know that somebody's anybody over here who hasn't answered yet? How do you know somebody's a police officer?
They have a cop car.
They have a cop car. That's right. Yeah, with lights on it. With what?
Zootopia is a cop too.
Oh, there's a cop in Zootopia. That is right. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Because the police officer has a job.
The police officer has a job, right? He's hired by somebody to be a police officer, by his boss, yeah. He has handcuffs, that's right, yeah. How else? He has a uniform, yeah. So do you think that if I just put on a police officer uniform, would I just be a police officer? No, that wouldn't work. So what would be different between, what if I had all that stuff that you guys are talking about? I had the car, I had the handcuffs, I had the uniform, the lights on my car. Would that make me a police officer? No, it wouldn't, right? So what's different between me and dressing like a police officer and actually being one? Yep. They what?
Hired.
Because they were hired, right? Yeah. They're actually getting paid to do it. Yeah, I wouldn't be getting paid. That's right. That's a good idea. Okay, let's go to the next one. How do you know that somebody is a farmer? How do you know somebody's a farmer? Yeah? What do you think, Violet? Ooh. Do what?
Zootopia changed to farmer because everyone thinks that she's not a police officer.
Oh, so you must have just watched Zootopia. I bet you. Did you? Yeah. Yeah? What? How do you know somebody's a farmer? They have animals? Okay. Yep. They have trucks.
They take care of the animals.
Take care of the animals and they mow the grass. Okay. And they plant. Yep. They plant crops. Yep. They farm, right? They drive a tractor and they do that kind of stuff, right? Okay. How do you know somebody is a teacher? How do you know if they're a teacher? They give you homework? Somebody said that? Okay. What? How do you know somebody's a teacher? They what? A tag? Oh, like they have a little name tag? Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Because they teach students how to learn.
They teach students how to learn.
When they were their age.
Yep, that's right. They teach students how to learn. Yep, just like they learned. Okay.
And they grade your homework.
They grade your homework. That's right. Yep. Yep. All right, one more.
They have desks.
They have a desk. Yes. Yes, that's right. They have all those things. Okay. So, we know kind of what all these different professions do, right? One of the big things is that they get an education, right? some capacity. Like a police officer, he has to go to a school called Cleat School. If you're a farmer, you have to learn a lot of things about agriculture, so you take ag classes, and you might learn underneath another farmer. If you're a teacher, you have to go to school and get a degree, right? All those things are important. So how do we know that someone is a disciple of Jesus? So I want to read this scripture. Can somebody read this scripture for me? Rolando, can you give me the table mic? You want to read it for us? Riker, you want to read it? Okay, can you see it? Here, it's up there on the screen.
Jesus said,
Whoever
was to be my disciple must
deny themselves
and follow me.
and follow me. Thank you, Riker. That was awesome. Yeah, good job. So yeah, if you want to be Jesus' disciple, you have to deny yourself. What does it mean to deny? Does anybody know? Do you know what it means?
Say no.
To say no, yeah. So you deny yourself. So in other words, you're not worried so much about what you want. You're worried about following Jesus, right? We have to deny ourselves and follow Jesus. So first thing is that they follow him, right? They deny themselves and they follow him. But we have a problem, okay? How many of you seen Jesus walking around Cordell this week? Anybody seen Jesus walking around Cordell? I didn't see Jesus walking around. Did you see him? Yeah, I didn't see him. So it's how do we follow somebody if they're not there in the flesh to follow? Like that's a really hard idea. So we have to look at this word disciple for just a second. Okay, this word disciple, see that right in the middle? That's a Greek word. Did you guys know the Bible, the New Testament was written in Greek? Did you know that, Nevaeh? Did you know that the New Testament was written in Greek? You want to say a Greek word? You guys think you can say a Greek word? Okay, repeat after me. I bet you can. Mathetes. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Mathetes. All right. You guys just spoke Greek. Good job. Did you know that? You can speak Greek now. Okay, but this word is really important because it means that somebody is either a student or an apprentice. Okay? So if you're a student, then you learn. But guess what? You know what's cool? So I happen to know that where's Rhonda Snelling? Where'd she go?
Mom's over there.
There she is. Okay. So Rhonda, can you stand up for us? So Rhonda likes to quilt. Did you guys know that Rhonda likes to quilt? I mean, you do. You better know. So she likes to make quilts. Okay, so if I wanted to be a student or an apprentice of Rhonda and learn how to make quilts, then I would have to go over to her house, and she would have to show me all the things that she does, and I would have to just follow her around and see how she cuts the material and how she uses her sewing machine and all that stuff. And so I would be a student or an apprentice of Rhonda making quilts. Yeah, but guess what? Rhonda can't be everywhere, right? And so you could actually follow Rhonda in a way by learning how to quilt. And you could read articles online, you could watch YouTube videos, and in a sense, you would still be following Rhonda because you're learning how to quilt, even though she's not there with you. Okay? So that's kind of the way it is with Jesus, okay? We can't necessarily see him, but we do have the writings that his disciples wrote, and they showed us how to be a student or an apprentice of him. Okay, so we also have to figure out what Jesus wants us to do. So we're going to read another scripture. Who wants to read this one for us? All right. Cassandra, you want to do it? Okay. Rolando, you got the table mic again?
As Jesus walked beside the Sea of
Galilee.
He saw Simon and his brother Andrew casting a net into the lake, for they were fishermen. Come, follow me, Jesus said, and I will send you out to fish for people. And at once they left their nets and followed him.
Okay. So what does Jesus want these men who are following him to do? What does he want them to do? He wants them to follow him, and then one more thing. What else? He wants them to do what? Yep.
Walk beside the Sea of Galilee.
He wants them to walk beside the Sea of Galilee. Okay, and one more thing. What does Jesus want these guys to do? They were fishermen, but what does he want them to do now?
They want them to fish for people.
He wants them to fish for people. Yes. Yes, he wants them to fish for people. Okay, so how do we know somebody is a disciple? They follow him, and Jesus wants his disciples to fish for people. Why is that important? Why do people need to be fished for? Any idea? What do you think?
Because, like, if they don't got any food and they couldn't afford anything, they would bring food to them.
Okay, so maybe people need help. Maybe they actually do need real food. But why do we need to fish for people? So obviously, they're not going to catch people and eat them. That's kind of weird, right? They're not going to do that. So if they're going to go and catch people, why do people need to be fished for? Why do they need to be caught? What do you think?
To be eaten.
No, they don't need to be eaten. Oh, that'd be yucky. Yeah. Let me tell you why. Okay, because there's a lot of people in our world who are in bad places. They don't know their purpose. They don't know what they're supposed to be doing. They don't know where they're supposed to go in their life. And so Jesus wants his disciples to go and fish for people so that they can show them their purpose and why they're here. Do you guys ever ask that question? You may not ask that question yet, but someday you'll be asking that question about what is my purpose here? Okay, so here's a really simple way. I want you guys to remember this, okay? How do we know that somebody's a disciple? A disciple is someone who consistently wants and chooses the way of Jesus, right? Wants and chooses the way of Jesus. I don't want you guys to forget that, okay? So when your parents tell you something that you have to do, the way of Jesus is to obey your parents, right? That's the way of Jesus, to love and respect your parents. If you have a friend at school, the way of Jesus is to tell them about Jesus and maybe even invite them to church or encounter or something like that. That's the way of Jesus. Or when you see somebody getting bullied at school, do you guys have bullies at school? I know you have bullies at school, right? People who are mean. So you go and you tell a teacher. You stand up for the person who's being bullied, right? You go and you tell a teacher. When somebody's mean to you at school, the way of Jesus is to repay that meanness with kindness and goodness rather than to be mean back, right? And I know that sometimes when somebody's mean to us, we just want to be mean back, but the way of Jesus is to love them. Okay, so a disciple is somebody who consistently wants and chooses the way of Jesus, and I don't want you guys to forget that, okay? Can you guys say that?
Yes.
Okay, just read underneath there, okay? How do we know somebody's a disciple? A disciple is someone who consistently wants and chooses the way of Jesus. That's right. Okay. All right, we're going to stand up.